We turn now to material that may be the most challenging of the semester, and for that reason, I'm going to take it slowly. So an absolutely core macroeconomic issue is how does the price level, meaning P, and therefore the inflation rate, get determined? Now this is a core issue for a number of reasons. First of all, price level determination is at the heart of determining nominal GDP, meaning real GDP times the price level. In actual economies, as opposed to model economies, you have wages, prices, and quantities are all denominated in nominal terms. And so if changes in nominal demand have effects on real variables, because, say, wages and prices don't adjust instantaneously, then the price level interacts with the real economy. The primary task that countries have assigned to monetary policy is to keep inflation low and stable. So understanding how monetary and fiscal policy affect prices is absolutely central to understanding how policies affect the economy as a whole. So let me just emphasize, it's not that we're interested only in the price level. It's that the price level really is the linchpin for understanding what monetary and fiscal policy do in the economy. So we're going to look at a simple economy. Output is going to be exogenous. That means the only thing that we're really going to determine here is the price level or the inflation rate. That's going to make the real interest rate, 1 plus little r, also exogenous. But then we can ask questions like, how do changes in income or the real interest rate affect the equilibrium? We're going to use the Fisher equation that links the nominal rate to the real rate and expected inflation. And we'll discuss two different views of price level determination. The conventional view is the price level gets determined in the money market. I put this in quotation marks because, as you'll see, it's never literally true that the price level gets determined in only one market. We're talking about a general equilibrium, so all the markets have to be operating in some internally consistent manner. The alternative view is sometimes characterized as the price level gets determined in the bond market. But as I've said, both of these ways of describing the views oversimplify, because the price level is always the outcome of interactions between monetary and fiscal policies. So let's talk about the conventional view for a minute. Milton Friedman is famous for many things, but among others is the quotation that inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon. So this is the monetarist view, and that view has that the price level is determined in the money market by interactions of supply and demand, just as we saw in the first set of slides on money and prices. Fiscal policy then affects the price level only to the extent that monetary policy allows it to. Implicitly, this view maintains Ricardian fiscal behavior, so that any time government debt expands, it creates the expectation that future taxes will go up to finance that debt expansion. In this conventional view, the critical equilibrium condition is this equation 1. So this just literally says that money supply equals money demand. And as we saw, we have that the demand for money is a function of the price level. It's increasing in the price level, it's increasing in income, and it's decreasing in the opportunity cost, which is the nominal interest rate. So this is the view that has the price level determined in the money market by the intersection of the demand for money and the supply of money. And this is the view that I presented to you earlier. Now, to understand this conventional view of price level determination, we're going to have to look at the government budget constraint. And the reason for this is that it's the government budget constraint where monetary and fiscal policy meet. And as we saw in the previous notes, monetary policy affects the change in the growth rate of the money supply, or alternatively, the interest rate. And fiscal policy affects taxes, government spending, and debt. And somehow the choices of these two distinct policy authorities, the central bank, who's determining monetary policy, the government, who's determining fiscal policy, somehow these two distinct policy authorities have to make choices that are consistent with each other. Because economic equilibrium requires, among other things, that these policies have to satisfy a government budget constraint. And inconsistent policies can't occur in equilibrium.